Feels naked without a laptop.
Yeah. Should I get it?
I don't need it. Just feels naked. Welcome back to another SJ's Community episode. Podcast episode, we should say. This one's a bit different. We're mainly just talking about one topic. And it's about the extremes of fitness, you could say.
Or the industry, the fitness industry.
Oh, the fitness industry. And we've been talking about it a lot. Like, you get the argument of people saying to be healthy, you need to drink Kangen Water.
That's a rarity though. There's not many people saying you got to drink Kangen Water, but
you need to drink filtered water.
Yeah.
Need to eliminate seed oils. And then you got the other extremes where high body fat percentage or etc. And they're saying that that's healthy, which they can be healthy, and if that's what makes them happy, that's great. But the way they portray it and post online, I just don't think it's the right way.
Yeah, well, not a bad intro there, but I don't know. I think, it's a little bit of a weird space at the moment, the fitness industry. I think that historically, throughout life, people have had to, look after themselves, take responsibility for themselves and their own health. But a lot of the stuff we did back in the day kind of looked after that. People used to venture to work, whether they were walking, cycling, stuff like that. There was way more general movement throughout the day. And there was also a lot less artificial foods, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, and this is
ultra-processed. There was much less ultra-processed food. So organically, people were moving more throughout the day, way more low-level general movement, but there was also usually way better food. They were usually eating good source of protein, fruits, vegetables. Unless you're poor even if you were poor as Irish just ate bulk potatoes and meat when they could.
But that's just because humans are lazy now.
Well, yeah, obviously life advances, and to advance, you obviously try to make things as easy and frictionless as possible. So we're currently in a society, we're obviously at the furthest point of history right now, and throughout history, how do you sell a product? A product is essentially something that solves a problem. A big problem is spending too much time on things, unnecessarily wasting time doing things. So people have spent centuries creating products that, make life easier. Turns out you can spend way less time doing something.
Hell yeah.
And so we're at a point in life where there's a lot of things that are very frictionless, very carefree, comfortable. You don't have to put a lot of effort into things a lot of time. And so ultimately, you see things like low-level general movement and stuff like that kind of fall off a bit.
Yeah, e-bikes, e-scooters.
Yeah. I mean, they're not... That is an example of stuff becoming a lot easier. But also, they're not the worst thing.
No, definitely not.
And e-bikes...
It still gets people outside.
Yeah, exactly. And they move, they commute, so they have to get off their bike, get on their bike, put their bikes away, stuff like that. So it's not the worst thing in the world, and you would technically be burning calories on a bike or scooter. But those are some pretty clear, definitive examples of, a scooter is free and gets you from A to B way quicker than walking. And you don't have to put in a huge amount of effort to ride a scooter in comparison to a scooter or a skateboard or a bike or something.
Not at all. A prime example of the how humans are lazy, or the ease of things now. Every workplace office now, pretty much almost has a cafe or canteen. So people don't have to do any movement once they're at work. And the food at those cafes, probably not the most healthiest thing for you.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of it is for it to taste good. Not really. They don't really give a shit about the nutritional value of it. A prime example, used to work with a colleague. Every single day, would go to the cafeteria to get food, would come back to the desk, eat it, complain that it's shit, and then either give it to me or bin it.
What would he usually give you?
Anything that they got. Yeah. And they'd always complain. But every single day, they'd be like, I didn't have time to make something, so I got to go buy something from the cafe.
Yeah.
Instead, they could have walked 5 minutes, 10 minutes to IGA, where there's good food there. There's people that actually like made food, chefs and everything. But that's a prime example of the era we live in, I reckon.
Yeah, we currently live in a society where there's not just one option to do something. You've got 2 or 3, 4 different options to do something. Some are super simple, super easy, take minimal to no effort or like trying essentially. And then you've got, say, the traditional way of doing things, which is much harder. So you can, it's hard. The reason why there's so many unhealthy people nowadays and there is like a quote unquote poor health epidemic is because it's harder to be healthy than it is to be unhealthy. Like, for example, you want to be healthy, some steps you can take are quite literally, 10,000 steps a day. You can meal prep at the start of the week. You can commute to work in different ways. All way harder than just that dude not meal prepping, doing whatever he wants on his Sunday night, getting to work however is quickest or however is the easiest, and then just eating whatever's at the cafeteria.
And then complaining about it.
Yeah, it's way easier, and that's why there's such a big epidemic at the moment.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Hey, I'm Austin, the strongest member at SJ's. You can be the second strongest member for $1 a day.
Yeah, so there's obviously your normal civilized, let's just say civilized human being who's kind of in the middle, who's like relatively healthy but does enjoy doing, all sorts of different things that might potentially be classed as like unhealthy.
Like watch a movie?
Yeah, watching a movie. I mean, some people watch movies 6-7 times a week. Not pointing fingers at anybody, but obviously you've got them in the middle and then you've got 2 ends of the spectrum now. And this is what this podcast is really about. Those 2 ends of the spectrum, which are both pretty unhealthy, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So the bottom end of the spectrum is, or let's say the top end of the spectrum, let's say they're your health freaks, the ones you were talking about, like, I wouldn't touch a seed oil, like, I'm not drinking water unless it's filtered through a fucking filtration system of, like, Kangen Water or some shit.
Or it doesn't touch, like, no sugar alternatives.
Yeah, no sugar alternatives, like, I don't trust anything. Those kind of people, maybe trainaholics where they're just like, I need to train 2.5, 3 hours a day. I need to get 15,000 steps in a day, blah, blah, blah. That's somebody that's like criminally unhealthy in the way of abusing health, essentially, abusing the ways to get healthy. Then you've got the bottom opposite end of the spectrum, which I think is pretty bad nowadays, which is people that are clearly objectively unhealthy, but there's a whole body positivity movement and like a mental health positivity movement where it's like, look however you want to look as long as it makes you happy. Do whatever you want to do as long as it makes you happy. It's like your life is your life. It's nobody else's.
Which is great, and that's fine. But when they advocate that's healthy.
Yeah.
That's what annoys me. Because you can, if you're happy, that's fine. It's like, I'm really happy for you. But the people that, like you said, talk about body positivity, and then they advocate this is what healthy is, etc., that's what pisses me off.
Well, you're saying you're really happy for people like that?
No, when the people that like are happy in their own selves.
Yeah.
But it's the people that are happy in their own selves, but then advocate that that's healthy. There's 2 different people there.
Yeah, I know, but you're saying somebody that's objectively unhealthy, but they're super wrapped about it. It's just like whatever. That's you're happy for them.
Well, I'm not going to change it. Like, if they're happy, they're happy. Like, and they're just living their life. They're not trying to like advocate to people why they're healthy. So be it. Like,
yeah, so be it. Yeah,
so be it.
I don't know if I'd say I'm happy for them.
Yeah, but it's like
I'm not upset for them, but I'm also not like, I'm super stoked that you're.
I'm not like fucking starting my day like, I'm stoked for that.
Yeah,
dude.
you're a champion, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not thinking like that. I'm just saying, like, they live their life, so that's cool. But it's just more the ones that advocate that the way they feel is more healthier than, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's both ends of the scale. It's the super obsessive, wannabe health freaks advocating to other people how to be healthier, and it's the people who are objectively pretty unhealthy advocating for people how to be healthy. Like, they don't really have merit to.
No.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like, I understand why you said that, like, initially you said you're happy for people to be unhealthy as long as they're happy. Because that's it. Ultimately, life is about not enjoying it, but, like, not being fucking upset and depressed.
Yeah.
You would hate for someone to be upset and depressed. But at the same time, I feel like people need to have a duty of care and responsibility for themselves and their own actions for a variety of variables, such as, you know, implications on taxpayers' dollar, the environment and community in general. They potentially can have kids one day, strains the health system. See, I can't say, oh, I'm happy for you to...
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But you need, because in that scenario, there's people where, like, they're unhealthy. Either they're aware they're unhealthy, and they're trying to make a change, but then they just don't do the right things.
Yeah.
And then they complain. So that's pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because they're just doing themselves badly. But the people that, like, they might be a bit unhealthy and they're aware of it and they're okay with it, I'm like, you can't really change them. If they're wanting to stay like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just more, the people that piss me off in that situation is when they want to make a change, but they don't do the right things. And they, I don't know, and then they complain about it and make excuses.
I think that bottom end, the quote unquote, like, objectively unhealthy people, I think the issue with them is that, like you said, you got to be happy. Why would you be depressed? That's just even more ridiculous. But the point is, this whole movement in body positivity and just be happy in whatever way you are can be quite detrimental to people's lives, because then you take away the responsibilities you have of looking after yourself, because you go, like, you know what? It's fine, because the way, like, that's what I'm saying. You have to have responsibility for your own actions and be responsible for your own health, because then the wrong end of the stick in that situation can be like, people know they're not in the right space. They know they're very unhealthy. They know it's not right. But they're like, you know what? Like, be healthy in your own skin. It doesn't matter. And then they almost embrace that ideology of, like, I'm just going to do whatever I want, look and be however I want, because it doesn't matter. Nothing matters unless I'm, like, happy about it.
Yeah. And then
that defeats the purpose of everybody looking after themselves.
And they, like, they'll be in a certain way, but they're like, but I can do this. I can still do this. It's like, I'm healthy because I can do this. It's like, but you still make your body a lot healthier if you did other things about that too.
Yeah. You can't just think, oh, I want to be healthy and happy mentally, and so I'm just going to frame my legitimate problems, these are legitimate issues, as me being happy, and so I don't have to actually put work into them. A prime example is that guy on Instagram. And actually I've noticed there's a direct correlation between, like, you've got some people posting like, oh, be happy in your own skin, blah, blah, but they're actually, like, putting a considerable effort in. People recognize that, and you see they get, like, a lot more likes, a lot more views, a lot more follows and stuff like that. A lot of the time you'll see people that are quite objectively unfit, unhealthy, posting the same kind of stuff, but it doesn't actually get the amount of likes, follows and traction, because people are just looking and they're like, no, no, you can't, like, you're not in the same position as these people, at least putting in a conservative effort to try be healthy. You're literally just not being healthy.
Yeah.
And there's that one guy on Instagram at the moment, don't know what his name is, but I think he originally started posting like, oh, be happy in your body. Like, I'm a PT. PTs can be any shape, which is completely true. A PT can be any shape. This whole conversation, people always say, like, do you have to fit the look? Like, do you have to be fit to be a PT?
You got to walk the walk.
Well, not necessarily. Like, you can be super knowledgeable and still be a PT and do a better job than a million people with six packs. but you have to have the knowledge. And if you do have that knowledge, it would be pretty remarkable if you didn't actually take a conservative approach to looking after yourself and your health. But this guy originally started like that, got a little bit of traction because people were like, they agree with us. They're like, anybody can be a PT, doesn't matter what size or shape you are. And in the space of like, I don't know how many months, I reckon this dude's put on at least 30 kilos, 40 kilos, and all he posts about is that. And I reckon he's gone from actually spreading a decent message and looked like he was somewhat looking after himself. He's gone from that to legit now he is actually overweight, probably trending towards obese, and just spreading like really hurtful information to the community.
Yeah, it's spreading.
And he's got a massive God complex about it, because now that's that whole thing I was talking about. Now he's like, because people have like accepted that he was saying that, and now he's like, okay, this is my personality now.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to. This is my like persona. So I'm just going to feed into this persona, which has turned out to him adding a considerable amount of weight, which is unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just hands down unhealthy.
And so that's like a big problem on this unhealthy end of the spectrum. People are like taking it for fact, taking it as like something from the Bible or whatever, and running with it and making it their personality and everything. And you see it heaps now with people. And there's even this other girl as well on Instagram that like records what she eats at her office job every day.
I think I've seen this, yeah.
And it's just, people are commenting and it's not even hate. People are like, dude, just make a couple switches with what you eat and just eat a bit less. You know, like, it's not a...
Do you reckon that she does that on purpose because she knows that...
Yeah, I think she does it because it gets traction maybe and engagement. Yeah. But it's like, everybody knows it's just not, it's not healthy. So do you. And it's like, well, you can change it. Everybody's telling you. There are a lot of hateful people on social media, and you shouldn't be hateful. But when people are doing the objectively wrong thing and spurting out objectively wrong advice, that it's bound to create hate.
Yeah. Because
people don't want to settle for, this person's literally spreading terrible information.
Misinformation.
Let's leave it. But you shouldn't spread hate to people in any circumstances whatsoever. But there's a lot of genuine people that comment on these posts and are like, come on, like it's obviously clear this isn't healthy.
Yeah.
You can make a change if you want.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like, the main message we're trying to spread is that people that are obviously unhealthy, but they're spreading a message that they are healthy, they're the people that we don't really agree with and we're not a fan of, just because it paints a picture for the people that come across their content and then they see it and then they get influenced by that. So that's what the main message we're trying to spread here.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Like, if people are happy with how they are and they agree with that, that's fine. But just don't go by and telling everyone that this is a healthy way to live.
Yeah. Because it's hard. It's hard to make the commitment to becoming healthier when you know you're probably not in the most healthy condition you can be in, or in general, just healthy in general condition. It's hard to take that step. It's probably much easier to just accept yourself the way you are, and just feed into it instead of being healthy. It's a big commitment. So it's like mentally it would be hard, especially if you're a little bit insecure, you've got low self-esteem, you've obviously got angst about it, you're worried. Of course it can be easier just to feed into that persona.
Yeah.
And then people have responsibility for their own health.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't stress that enough.
Like, being healthy and fit isn't that hard.
Yeah, you don't even have to be like fit, you know?
No, but like, it's not that hard. Obviously, it's harder for some people, whether they have, I don't know, busy lives, their parents, etc. But it's still manageable. It's honestly not that hard.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
The basic things you could do, you might not be able to tick every single box, but you can get low general movement in. You can make the better choices with food, all that.
I've almost come to like the realization that it's almost impossible to tick all the boxes if you're just like a normal person.
Yeah,
I've always got like kind of one vice going on. It's whether like I go out and like eat unhealthily on the weekend, or like I drink with friends, or you know I laze around one day. Like no one is going to be perfect at all, and
No.
that's where it kind of leads to that other spectrum where people are just like fighting for their life to be as criminally as healthy as possible. Refuse to drink any water unless... It's like that dude that posted the other day that was like, oh yeah, what did he say? Like being fit and healthy is simple. You just got to get your movement in, eat well, and drink Kangen water.
Imagine someone going on Instagram, seeing a thing that's like, oh, okay, being healthy is easy. These are the only things. And it says Kangen water.
It's just such an obscure reference.
Like, why not just say water?
Yeah. Well, someone's probably handing him a bag of money as he said it or as he made it.
You hope so.
But yeah, there's definitely some people on the other end of the spectrum. And there's people on the other end of the spectrum that like shame people for not being as fit as they should be.
Yeah, which is bad too, because they're just gonna...
Especially, you can't... If anyone's trying, you can't shame them at all.
Nah.
For sure. But even the people that aren't trying, you shouldn't shame them. But and that is like a big problem as well, because then that builds up that angst and that worry of the people who are...
So it's like the people that shame, like, anyone in the gym normally trying to improve in some way, whether it's, I don't know, lose weight, gain strength, gain muscle, etc. So that's what pisses me off when people have a crack at, I don't know, larger people in the gym. That's what annoys me. Because like, obviously they're trying to make a change in their life.
Yeah, but if someone's having a crack at a larger person in the gym, they've got to be like a fucking fully developed bully and just bullied kids their entire life and then just do it as an adult.
Yeah, like they've obviously got their own issues that they're dealing with, and they're just taking it out on others.
But social media is like a cesspool of shit right now.
Oh,
it is
fucked.
Like someone put 1,000 different shits in a blender and just blended it up and it's like, here you go, take this. It's so chaotic, it's ridiculous. There's so many different messages being sent out to people in our community.
Imagine if you had no idea about, so we're talking about health and fitness. Imagine if you had no idea about health and fitness and you downloaded Instagram, went on there and just searched health and fitness, the amount of shit that would pop up. And then if you followed like one thing, then all your algorithm was that. And it was like, no seed oils, cut all this shit out. Like, people would just be fixing that because they've got no idea.
Yeah.
And that's the negative thing of social media, where people have access to so much information when it's almost too much information, when they have no idea on something.
Yeah, it is. It's too much information. That's why it's so important to find catalysts in the field, or like people that are integral, that you can trust. And then just, that would be my honest like advice for people trying to navigate social media, is find like even just 2 or 3 people in the field that you know that you can trust for certain. And then from there, just digest their knowledge, learn about what they're talking about. And then you'll start to see more and more people that are associated with that person in some form or some way.
Yeah.
And then just take on that information because that's integral. Yeah, like I literally made a lot of dumb decisions in the past in terms of health and fitness, and like wasn't very knowledgeable too. Like we are now, but we weren't at one stage.
No.
So it's completely fine not to be, but it's important to try.
Yeah.
Try to contribute to your health in a positive way.
Yeah, and it's honestly like, just do the basics well.
This episode is powered by SJ's, training, community, and everything in between for only $1 a day. Check out our free 7-day free trial now.
There's a couple of things that we should probably touch on. It doesn't matter necessarily what you like. It doesn't matter what you look like at all, but it really matters about how you perform in terms of quite literal performance, whether it's like gym or sports or whatever, but also like in everyday life. That's pretty important. And so that doesn't have a shape or a size, you know?
No.
Like, you can have a long jumper who's like incredibly thin and lanky, who's super fit, or you can have a power lifter who, look, they're probably not the healthiest person in the world, but they are healthy. They just carry around like excess body fat, probably excess muscle to move the weight to do their job.
Yeah.
At the same time, you can have like somebody in a vast variety of shapes and sizes who can be healthy as well. So it's objectively pretty wrong to just look at the shape of somebody in most cases
Yes.
and say like, oh yeah, you're not
unhealthy.
healthy. There are obvious cases where you can look at someone and be like, yeah, you are for sure not healthy.
I like to view it as like in a mate's way. Say if, just for general pop and I don't know, general fitness advice, like I reckon if a mate, like you climbing a set of stairs with a mate, not that many, and they're like desperately struggling, like I'd probably give them advice that they should do some low level cardio. Like that's not that hard. Like I think that's like a common thing. They've got a set of stairs and they're struggling. That's one, I don't know.
Situational circumstance.
Yeah, where you can look out for.
Yeah.
Even for yourself, if you do something that's quite low level and you struggle with it, it might be a sign that you need to improve in that area.
Yeah.
Is there any other forms of...
Oh, well, like obviously if people are abusing anything in any way, sometimes it's probably a good thing to let them know. But everyone's on their own journey as well, and that's why there's this big divide, and like a lot of people are struggling with their health is because, yeah, there's so many different people on their own journey and they kind of have to learn themselves too. Yeah.
It does. It takes time.
I guarantee all these people that are obese on social media have been told like clearly unhealthy, clearly you can just do literally any form of physical activity and probably eat in any healthy way whatsoever and that will benefit you. But it's up to them to make the decision to change. And like I said, we're in an environment at the moment that's literally curated to be super easy, super carefree, super simple, and like instant gratification thrives in it. All these like artificial sweeteners, heavily processed foods and stuff like that are being made in laboratories to be super addictive and feel hell good to eat for that short term.
Yeah, they're tasty.
And so that is a big problem. Another problem is, you know, it's like you said, the e-scooters, stuff like that. Super easy to just get from A to B without moving whatsoever. Where back in the day, obviously, you had to walk.
Being lazy is easy.
Yeah, society is built now to be lazy, and that's why obesity rates are so much higher, significantly higher, in like major cities in the States, for example. Because that's like the capital of consumerism, you know? That's where it's being practiced so much, all this easy, carefree living. Whereas on another hand, like you've got places all around Europe, places in Asia where it's not like that. And so the obesity rates aren't as high because people are eating relatively healthy like they used to. They're moving a lot like they used to.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in a society built for you to fucking not be healthy.
Yeah, legit.
Like we're literally at a stage where someone going to the gym for like 30 minutes a day is classified as healthy, above average health.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go to the gym, it's like...
Or go for a walk or something. Walking is literally fucking so normal. The fact that it's framed, just going for a walk is framed as super healthy, is a little bit scary.
Oh, I don't know I mentioned this before in the pod, but I remember like 10 years ago we went to Bali. And my family like got up in the morning to go for a sunrise volcano walk. And like my family were like, oh, they're so healthy. Like they're doing that on holiday.
Mm.
It's like you come to a new country, you want to explore the area, you're just going for a walk up a mountain. Mountain's not even that big.
It is scary the way society's set up. Like society's definitely set up for us to fail in terms of health and fitness at the moment.
A quick word from our sponsors, us, SJs. We train, talk shit, and help you move better. You can do the same by checking out our 7-day free trial in the show notes. Should we talk about what you can do just to be healthy?
Yeah, so to be healthy, like we spoke about, probably the two most crucial things are low-level general movement throughout the day and your eating habits.
Yeah. They're the things you can do every day. And then you've obviously got strength training. Mm. And it's not like you don't need to go every day, but just doing it 2 to 3 times a week. And then adding in some form of cardio for your heart health. Like, it can be whatever cardio you want, whether it's swimming, running, cycling. That's the beauty of cardio. You can do it in so many different ways. And it doesn't need to be too intense.
Yeah, so a little cheat sheet. If you were to make like a cheat sheet for people, it's like, you want to take care of your health, here's what I'd do. I would recommend like 8,000 steps a day probably. I'd rather 10.
Yeah.
Unrealistic for some people. Let's just say 8 as an arbitrary number. That would be good. On top of that, healthy eating habits. So make sure you have high protein meals. So majority of your meal is protein. And then try to make sure that the rest of your meal is not quote unquote ultra processed food. And by ultra processed, I mean like lots of additives, lots of preservatives, stuff like that. Canned corn is a processed food, but it's corn in a can.
Yeah.
That's fine. So you're looking for healthy foods that were alive at one stage, you know, fruits, vegetables, beans, stuff like that. And then you can enjoy food. It's not something that you can't enjoy, but just try to make sure that your common eating habits are that.
Yeah. And like make your food colourful.
Yeah, colourful is a perfect one. That's what I would say. I'd say high protein with a colourful plate.
Yeah.
So you got your 8,000 steps, let's say that's for that low level general movement. And the way you can do that as well is, say you work a desk job, this is what I say to heaps of people, every hour, just get up. I don't even care what you, like, get up, go pee, go talk to someone, go pretend to pee. It doesn't matter, just get up and move every hour. You'd be surprised at how much of a difference that makes. And then if you're really finding it hard still to get your steps in, because people hear 8,000, they get to the end of the day and they're like, oh, I've only done 3,000, I don't know. And so they think, oh, I've got to go for like a 30-minute walk. Break it up throughout the day. So one good cue, not cue, but I can't think of a better term, is 10-minute walks throughout the day. Like so after you eat, yeah. So like habit stack it. After I eat a meal, usually have breakfast, lunch and dinner, I'll go for a 10-minute walk.
Yeah, so and you feel good. You feel, especially if you do it outside.
Yeah.
Obviously, not everyone can walk outside due to the certain, I don't know, climate. But recommend doing it outside, because especially if it's sunny. That, and then little things, if you work at office, like, I don't know, instead of filling up your bottle the whole way, just fill it up halfway, and then every time you finish it, you got to go fill it up.
Exactly. Give yourself reasons to walk, as insignificant as that. Because if you work an office job 8 hours a day, say you like catch the train into work and then the train home, you're already commuting a little bit. Every hour you get up and go for like a small trot or do whatever, that's 8 times a day you're moving. And then if you've been doing those 3 walks a day, or even if you did 2 of the 10-minute walks and you get home and you're like, I've done my steps, or I've got like 1,000 steps to go, it's not much.
Yeah. You
just break it down to smaller, more achievable goals.
For sure.
So they're the first 2. Like we said, strength training, ideally, you don't have to. You can do any form of exercise in reality. Yeah. Anything that you like, if you like running, if you like cycling. But realistically, strength training would be really beneficial.
So beneficial.
And that would be like once a week's better than none.
Yeah. People always think that like, if they can't hit a certain like amount or criteria, that there's no point. But doing something is always better than doing nothing.
Yeah, 1 hour of strength training a week is way better than not. Because at the end of the year, that's 52 hours that you strength trained.
Yeah.
In comparison to 0. But ideally, probably twice.
Yeah, ideally 2 to 3 times.
Yeah, 2 to 3 times a week would be ideal in terms of strength training. And then just full body sessions. And
it's never been easier to go to the gym. It's a gym like every 100 meters now. Obviously, if you can't afford a gym, you can just do stuff at home. It's still better than doing nothing. And then if you work, a lot of workplaces now give you access to a gym, especially if you work in an office. Like, you got so much access to do things. Or you can go to one of them park gyms.
Yeah. Or anything, calisthenics, anything like that.
You can do anything.
Yeah. So that would be good. A couple gym sessions a week. 3 would be perfect. 2 would be ideal. 1 would be fine. Like you said, cardio, like just 1 to 2 cardio sessions a week. You'd already be getting a bit of cardio in with your walking, but you'd honestly want to increase that heart rate just to improve heart health. Pretty sure the Heart Foundation legit says 7 minutes of decent increased heart rate is enough every day.
Yeah.
So like a 20-minute cycle even is good. It's not obviously not ideal for performance, but for health it's pretty beneficial.
And if you're struggling, like, especially at the start, like, introducing yourself to cardio, it's like, even just walking at a fast pace is going to help you. Or any form of where your heart rate is increasing, it's going to help you. Like, it's not that hard. Like,
Yeah, literally.
it's not hard at all.
Because there's a big difference as well between performance and health.
Yeah.
And so if you're just trying to be healthy, I think a good example is the Japanese. Like a lot of the Japanese, especially in rural Japan, don't exercise. But they're super healthy and their life expectancy on average is like over 100 years or something like that. But they're active. They're super active. They're walking a lot. They're gardening a lot. They're cooking a lot. Like they're super active. That's that low level general movement.
And they'll just have general strength from just doing day-to-day things.
Yeah. And so they're a prime example of like you don't need to smash the gym 15 times a week, go for 10 runs a week, eat completely clean to be healthy. Those steps that we just mentioned then, that little cheat sheet, like if you just stuck to that, you know, your 8 to 10,000 steps a day, habit stacking it, 3-10 minutes a day, like getting up from your work desk 8 times a day, just doing that.
Even like if you go to the shop, instead of like driving right next to the door, park further away.
Yeah, literally.
It's going to add like a few more minutes to your walk. It's obviously, they're like little annoying things, but if you're someone that says you have no time to walk, they're little things you can do.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you say you don't have time to walk, you might not have a 40-minute window to walk every day, but that doesn't mean you don't have 3 10-minute windows, you know?
Yeah.
And it adds to the same thing. You might not have 30 minutes to walk at the end of the day, but you definitely have 3 little windows of 10 minutes a day where you can walk. And it doesn't matter if you walk for 30 minutes straight or 3 10-minute bouts, like you're still going to walk for 30 minutes.
It's still going to help.
Still going to get the same amount of steps in.
People just get trapped in the all or nothing, eh?
Yeah, but that's the thing. These unhealthy people look at it and because they're so far away, they're like, oh, this is fucking... It's just easier to do this. And it's like, it's honestly not that hard if you structure your life properly to improve your health.
Facts.
Quite literally. And so you need to break it down into manageable goals or manageable habits.
Yeah. And just set yourself easy wins. Like, where you're just going to do small things that's going to equate to wins, that's just going to stack on. And then you can just build on from there. Because once you start doing things well, whatever you set out to be, you just want more. It's like that addiction.
That's it. They're easy steps. You take those steps, use that little cheat sheet.
But instead if you want to walk 10,000 steps a day, but you're finding that hard, just set the goal of like 6,000, and then build from there. It's not that hard.
It's not, yeah. But that's it. In a nutshell, the industry is pretty unhealthy. There's a lot of actually objectively unhealthy people that are negatively impacting other people's lives along with their own. There's also extremely unhealthy people that are viewed as healthy that aren't healthy. They're just pretty manic and actually abusing health and exercise. That's it. Like someone would look at David Goggins, for example, and be like, oh, he's super healthy. I don't know, his body's pretty banged up. Pretty sure he's got some legitimate trauma that he's just like absolutely throttling his body about. Yeah. So there's different ways.
But the difference with him is he doesn't say I'm healthy, whereas people who we've been talking about say that this is health. That's what pisses us off.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't think you have to be like David Goggins.
That's it. I think a lot of people just think that they have to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's not all or nothing. It's just the bare minimum pretty much.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Do the small things well.
Pretty much.
I'm small.
Yep.